Hey there, Disney family. Welcome to another episode of For the Love of the Mouse. I'm Crystal, and today we are going to talk about our top 6 takeaways from our recent Disney cruise. We recently got back from our very first land and sea adventure. We took a 3-night Bahamian cruise on the Disney Dream, and it was magical. But there are some things that I want to make sure that you know that we took away from our cruise so that you can help in planning your first or your 50th Disney cruise. The first thing I want to talk about is the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. I think it's really important that you download this app, and I'm going to tell you a little story as to why. When we first embarked on the Disney Dream, I was deer in the headlights, overwhelmed. In fact, for the first few hours, I'm pretty sure that Bryson was like, I don't know how we're going to survive the next 3 days because she is not going to be able to calm down. It was really overwhelming. There were just people everywhere. It was so loud. We had no idea where to go. We had no idea where anything was. We didn't know where anything was, how to get to where anything was. We didn't know how to navigate our way around the cruise ship. We didn't really know what cruising style was, so it was just a whole bunch of really new things. And those kind of experiences where I don't know where I am and how to control the situation, or like where to get where we need to go and what's going on, just really overwhelmed me. So I was just living in complete chaos. Then we were at dinner and I downloaded the Navigator app, and my whole world changed for the better. I immediately relaxed. I was totally able to calm down, and I was able to plan out our next day a little bit. I mean, we certainly weren't trying to like go here. We wanted to make sure that we were relaxing and taking our time and getting to know the ship and just having a really great time and exploring. I highly recommend downloading this app. It does not take Wi-Fi. It takes Wi-Fi to just download the app. But once the app is downloaded, it doesn't use Wi-Fi, so you're able to do that your entire cruise without buying a Wi-Fi package. I didn't buy any Wi-Fi package our entire trip, and it was magical. So I highly recommend just unplugging for your trip. The second thing I want to talk about is the shows. Now, we were on a 3-night cruise, but we saw Disney's Believe, The Golden Mickeys, and Beauty and the Beast. And Beauty and the Beast was unbelievable. If you've never been on a cruise and this is your first cruise, I highly recommend going to experience these shows. We've seen a ton of Disney shows on Broadway, and these were amazing, especially Beauty and the Beast. So if you've never seen them or you've only seen them once or twice, we definitely recommend going to see those shows because it's definitely a unique experience you're only going to get on the Disney Cruise Line. You can't even get these in the parks, so it's definitely something to see. The third thing is the food. There is a ton of it, which we all know going into a cruise that there's a ton of food. It's everywhere. You can be eating all the time if you want. No one's going to judge you for it. When you go to the restaurants and you're on this rotational dining, order what you want. If you want to get 4 orders of escargot and 4 desserts and that's all you want, you do you. This is your cruise, so you can order whatever you want. If you have any dietary restrictions, we were on this particular cruise and the folks sitting a couple tables down from us were able to get food that was Indian food, and it was amazing. It smelled amazing, and actually we got to try a little bit of it on our last night. And so if you have food restrictions or food preferences, talk to the people at the cruise before you board the cruise and let them know what those are, and they a lot of times we'll be able to work with you on that. So that's something to look out for as well. The next thing is kind of a play off what we talked about first, embarkation chaos. We've watched a ton of vlogs talking about Disney Cruise, and nobody that we've ever watched has ever talked about embarkation chaos. It's not that it's unorganized, it's that every single person that's on the ship with you is getting on the ship around the exact same time. So everyone's getting on, everyone's experiencing the same walking into the atrium, everyone's going to cabanas or to the one restaurant that's open at the time. Everyone's trying to figure out where their room is, and staterooms don't necessarily open until a specific time. So everyone is just kind of everywhere. The adults only areas aren't adults only because it's an open house, so kids can be in and out of these different areas just like adults can go into the kids clubs. So it's loud. It's loud and there are people everywhere and everyone is on vacation mode. And this isn't a bad thing. We know full well that when we go on a Disney cruise or any Disney vacation, the kids are going to be there. And we love that. It's a family-oriented business and we totally get that. We totally appreciate that and we love it. I just want to warn you that there's a lot of chaos and loudness when you get onto the cruise. So just be aware, it's not going to last forever. A few hours after you get on the cruise, you're going to have the sail away party. After the sail away party, you're going to be in open water. Everyone's going to be calming down, getting ready for dinner, going to the pool, doing all kinds of fun stuff. Everything really does calm down. But for those first couple of hours, just know it's really loud and there's not a whole lot of relaxation in those first couple of hours. But I just want to warn you because I don't think I had any preparation for that until we got on the ship and I was like, oh my gosh. Next up, I want to talk about the ports. We had 2 ports. We had Castaway Cay and Nassau. We didn't get off the boat at Nassau. And that's one thing I want to say. If you're going to a port and you're like, you know, there's not really anything I want to do, there's a ton to do on the Disney cruise ships. Now, one thing I've noticed is that folks who cruise with other cruise lines are like, why would you not get off on that port? Like, why would you stay on the boat or the ship? Well, the reason is there's so much to do. There's always classes going. You can look at your Navigator. There are quiz shows. There are gingerbread baking competitions. There are fun stuff to do in the kids' lounges. There's movies showings. There's just so much to do all over the cruise all the time that you really don't need to get off if you don't have any reason to do so. There's just so much fun stuff to do that if there's a port that just doesn't excite you, stay on the ship. But definitely get off at Castaway Cay because that place is unbelievable. And we're going to do a full video just on Castaway Cay. Our last tip is live your best cruise life. We are sitting here telling you about some of our takeaways from our recent Disney cruise, but this is just us. These are our opinions, these are our experiences, and we want you to live your best cruise life. Go on the cruise, and if you don't want to get off at any ports, don't get off on any ports. If you want to get off at every single port and spend all day, that is completely up to you. This is your vacation. You worked really hard to pay for this vacation and to be able to take your family or your significant other or yourself on this trip. You do your cruise. And you should also know that Disney is all about that. They want to make your cruise as magical as possible. And they want you to have such a great time that you, of course, want to come back. So those are our top takeaways from our most recent Disney cruise. Stay tuned because we have a ton of Disney cruise content coming for you. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button if you like what we're doing, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you are notified every time we release a video on Mondays and Fridays. Thank you for stopping by, and for the love of the mouse, never forget that it all started with a mouse.